Today we are starting off.
Chat, is it gonna like double up on the sound?
Today we are starting off. Yes, it is doubling up on the sound.
I will mute Twitch.
Okay. Okay, so everything looks all ready. Let me get chat up. Excellent. Okay, so this week is episode 1 of season 1, The Witness of My Worth. If you look below this this window where everything is showing up, you are going to see I do have a schedule of all of our episodes. You'll also notice that above me, the that space is filled by a player who unfortunately at the last minute couldn't make it. We will soldier on without them. They will be missed, but they will be back next week. Let me make sure.
Assuming we don't all die, because the one who's missing is our medic.
I doubt you will all die.
Only one of us.
I mean, this isn't Call of Cthulhu.
Or is it?
Oh.
It's not a TPK if someone's whispering.
Ohila are Elder Tours from
Well, you'll just have to find out.
a lot of episodes to go there.
Okay, let's get into it. So you guys drop from Translight into low shift. So basically going from faster than light into normal speed. You are all waiting on the bridge as a hologram pops up and lets you know what your contract is. 3 days ago, a distress call was issued from a Combine installation, Environment Base Alpha 1 on the planet of Aries-3. So, now what you guys can do is let me know if any of you want to use various skills to see what you can find out.
Distress signal from the base on Aries-3.
Yes, Environmental Base Alpha 1.
Environmental base. Do we have any information on what Environmental Base Alpha 1 was? What its purpose was?
Not without using any skills. So, when you use most skills, you just say, hey, I want to use skill blank, and then I say okay. Most of the time, well, you can spend points if you want. You do not have to, and I will let you know if spending a certain amount of points would be pointless.
What would Combine history say about this base?
Sure thing. Just the base. Or do you want to do sort of a more general, like the planet you're around?
The base itself.
Okay. So for history combine for the base, that wouldn't do anything.
But the surrounding...
The planet itself, yeah. Would you like to spend any points, or just do a 0-point spend?
0 points. I only got one.
Okay. So Aries-3 is located in the Aventine cluster, and it was a prosperous and heavily populated world. As you'd expect, given its proximity to a dense thread of translight corridors, which you know very well from getting here. It was one of the earliest Combined colonies established in the Bleed. So when the Bleed was first settled a little over a generation ago, this was one of the first places settled. It was founded originally as a mining colony, but it evolved into a thriving financial, resort, manufacturing, and data services hub. One of the first military engagements against the Mohillar during the Utopia era, which is the era before the war, took place here. A decisive victory from the Combine. It led to a generation-long retreat for the Mohillar before the war began in earnest. The destruction of Aries-3 occurred decades later during the war itself. This early defeat led to not only the death of billions of civilians, but the loss of much of the Combine's fleet here in the Bleed. Repeated attempts to contact the crew of EV Base, which is short for Environmental Base, have failed. The crew's task was to assess the environmental safety of Aries-3 prior to settlement. An unknown number of scavengers have resettled without Combine authorization.
As in people or class?
People. Various people have started resettling the planet without Combine authority because, like, sure, this is a planet that's in ruins, but it was a very populated planet at one point. There's a lot you can find.
Hello. Question.
Sure.
Fantastic. What is the environment like at the moment?
The planet, that would be, excuse me, it's not going to be pleasant. Kind of think of sort of like Fallout's Wasteland.
So I will actually use a skill point. I'm
Okay.
going to use points in law to recall, are there any sort of like squatters laws?
Okay, so just figure out all the law that you can think of regarding the planet.
Yeah, of
Okay.
people settling there, and if they would have any claim some sort
Okay.
of squatters rights.
Sure. So
Planetary scale.
you do not have to spend any points for what I'm about to tell you.
Cool.
But by setting up shop on Aries-3 ahead of the environmental clearance, the newcomers are committing a regulatory infraction, not a crime. The Combine would or could issue a forced evacuation order, but it hasn't. Also, you guys, as lasers, as, essentially law enforcement, you will have no legal authority to lean on the inhabitants merely for being there.
Good to know.
Find evidence of them doing something illegal on the planet in order to make it a law enforcement work.
Yeah, so if they're breaking Combined law, you might be able to take them into, like, a different planet, and maybe the Combine's gonna do something. But, like, if you called up, like, the next system over, the closest inhabited planet, and it was like, hey, I see this, this crime happening, they'll say, okay. Cool story, bro.
Can I just be clear on our team's goals, and that is to just locate missing personnel in distress?
Yeah, figure out what's happening on the environmental base.
Okay.
Where did that distress call come from?
So the F base lies in the ruins of Calopolis. And also, one more thing about the law from Voved. Aries-3's settlement ministry classifications are uncleared and ungoverned.
Say that again.
The settlement ministry has classified this planet as uncleared and ungoverned.
I see.
I think that means we bring guns.
Always.
So, are there any active distress signals or other signals that I can pick up?
Let's see. That would be... What skill would you like to use for that?
It might have to be communications intercept, the general ability.
Okay. There are no communications that you currently are able to intercept at this moment.
Okay.
So to clarify, we've already maneuvered so that we're coming in.
You
over
are
space.
in orbit over the planet.
Okay.
Basically, what the standard operating procedure is you park your ship in orbit and take your shuttle down. And all ships have a safety measure where if they are forcibly boarded, they will generally just explode. Or at least enough do that it's not worth the risk.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ours might do that anyway.
that is true.
I mean,
Yeah, it just might do it because it's Tuesday. Tuesday.
The intrepid Cliffhanger.
Oh,
He's a good ship some of the time.
oh, the rat baby.
so, does anyone want to try and use something to find out anything about Calopolis, for example? Or do any...
I do.
Okay. What would you like to use, Alistair?
I'll use my history. Calopolis is a cow metropolis.
No.
Um,
So would that be history human or history combine?
let's go with. I'll do. It's a human settlement.
Yes. Aries-3 is primarily a human settlement. Or
Alright.
a human settled planet. Or at least it was.
I am boosted on history. Human history.
Okay.
All right.
So what your human history will let you know is that Calopolis was the planet's capital city.
You guys, this was the planet capital city.
So, before we go down,
Yes.
I have points in surveillance. Assuming that continues to mean the thing I think it means, can we do a quick, scan of the area around the facility we're supposed to be looking for?
What kind of scan?
Can we do a biosig scan?
You can definitely do a biosignature scan.
Or what's there, I guess.
And Ire, do you want to hear what happens when you do a biosignature scan?
Sure. Do I have to spend points for it?
No.
Awesome.
There are tens of thousands of sentient humanoids on Aries-3 and hundreds in the Calopolis region.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought we were closer to the base than orbit. I don't know why. I blanked on that information that you just gave.
Well, I suppose my question was the fineness of detail that we could get with those scans. Which
So
clearly-
right now you're kind of doing a let's get a broad view and then slowly work in. And something that you have found out is almost all humanoid life is clustered on the edges of the old cities.
Wonder why they're on the edge.
That is bizarre.
You said all human life. What other cities are
Humanoid.
we picking up?
Humanoid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, humanoid life. There are still animals on this planet.
Oh, okay.
Like the planet wasn't glassed or anything like that. But the sentient life was forcibly excised from the planet during the war.
I've seen someone say in our chat, our very handy dandy chat that everyone other than Worm is very low. Their audio sounds low. I was able to fix that going into Zoom. It's auto set it to be slightly lower, so
Okay.
quality feedback from our loyal fan base.
Yeah. And I will definitely see if I can do anything to raise the stuff in Benji's face. Nope. All of my stuff is set as high as possible.
I'm saying that you're good. It's everyone else.
Okay. My microphone level is as high as I can make it.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to quiet myself so people can then turn up the their stuff. Because unfortunately that seems to be the best option at the moment. So let me make myself a little quieter. Okay. Now I should be at about the same volume as everyone else, hopefully.
How about it? Are we doing better?
Yeah, that's a good question.
But we've got like 12 people watching, so go us. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
people.
that's impressive.
I am not self-conscious at all.
Immensely appreciate the support.
Yes, we very, very much do. Okay, so as you guys decide to keep trying to get closer and closer on your scans, the hailer, which would be Lazoline, you notice that there is a ship dropping into low shift.
Guys, we've got another ship incoming.
Oh no.
That's a good thing I didn't leave the seat yet.
Can we hail them?
Can we get a scan on them first?
Hail, well met.
Well, the question is, this planet doesn't have a lot of traffic to it normally, I would assume.
That would be an assumption, yeah.
Can we get a hail on what
ship,
kind of...
Scan the ship.
Sorry, scan, please, on what kind of ship we have. And we could hail them shortly after. I just want to know if they're enough to beat us up.
Would that be energy sigs?
So, Lazoline, you're able to just notice by the normal information you're getting from this is a hauler.
Okay, so looks like a transport ship.
It'd be more of a cargo ship.
Right, that's the thing that I meant to say.
Yeah.
And does it look like they are heading towards Alpha 1 Aries-3?
It looks like they're
At
heading
base.
toward the planet.
Okay, snap poll. Do we want to contact them or just follow them?
If these
Cool,
folks
just
are
follow
acting outside of Combine Authority, who's providing them with these resources? We should ask what's going on before we
Start.
attack a civilian colony.
So, Vilved, that sounds kind of like you wanna lean into your law. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I can spend a point for that.
Again, not a point needed for this. This ship is probably involved in gray market commerce, but nothing warranting arrest or seizure.
So these folks are able to pay for it with their, you said that it's formerly a mining colony, but now.
Well, right now it's just
Now
full
it
of
sounds like
scavengers.
a whole lot of looting.
Okay, and as Lazoline is setting up for to hail them, Ire, your screen informs you that your computer has overridden manual control and is about to execute an attack maneuver on the ship.
Rude. What the fuck, Cliff? No. So I'm going to override that override, because how dare? I am
Okay.
the captain.
So that would be a helm control test.
Right, and how would I go about doing that?
Akko, are you going to want to use any of your skills as you
Yeah,
notice
I'm trying
that?
to figure out what I would. Oh, I don't know what would be most useful for that. The help.
I'm not even talking about helping.
Oh, just noticing that.
So you've noticed that Ire is all of a sudden starting to do stuff.
Oh God, yeah, no. Akko's just like,
What is the battle console telling me? Are the weapons priming?
Yes, the weapons are getting ready to fire.
That's bad.
Nope, bad.
Can we check if there's any viro manipulation going on?
No, there wouldn't be viral manipulation on this because it's a machine.
Different kind of virus.
yes.
Guys, shut it down.
Working on
Do not
that.
fire it.
Just
all costs.
design. What plug do I have to pull to make sure that the weapons stop arming?
Feel like Akko just go.
So, Akko, what I'm going to tell you is your forensic engineering realizes that this is a really surprising thing considering the ship doesn't have an automated system.
Oh. Oh no. Oh.
This is very rude. Who dares?
Who would the poor baby
So-
with this?
Ire. You would be rolling a D6, and
Alright.
I know the difficulty. I'm just not going to be telling you what the difficulty
That
is.
is 100% fair.
Before you roll, you decide if you want to spend any of your helm control points.
Okay.
And basically, the roll plus whatever points you spend will be that will be your final result. And if that meets or exceeds the difficulty, then you pass.
Okay.
Quickly,
Yes.
may I take this opportunity to use heightened prefrontal cortex,
To do what?
assist with helm control without expending a point?
You're not going to be at the helm.
When cooperating, I can donate points from
Okay.
any of the following general abilities without losing an additional point from that pool. If I might donate from naval tactics to helm control.
So what you would do is you would spend points to help Ire, but you wouldn't be spending extra points to be able to spend points, because normally you have to spend points to share points.
Okay, so I have rolled a 5, and I am spending 2 of my points. 'cause
Okay.
That seems like a good idea.
For 7?
Yep.
Okay. You have regained manual control, and you stop the attack maneuver.
There
As
we go.
they're doing that, I would like to. I'm gonna assume communications intercept or data retrieval, but one of these will let me see if we've got any signals coming in from outside the ship to us that might be interfering with our computers.
Okay, so you definitely do hear that there is interference.
Okay.
In fact, you get a transmission from the hauler that goes, "This is the crackle crackle vessel Kuriok. Crackle crackle. Demand that you crackle crackle. Hostilities crackle crackle. Aggressive maneuvers crackle crackle."
Okay. So they're just as freaked out as we are. Got it. I'm gonna send a message back over to them to let them know, hey, this is the Cliffhanger. We're experiencing some technical difficulties. We are not hostile.
And you hear back, "Repeat, crackle crackle. Are crackle hostile?"
Oh, damn it. No.
Negative.
Friendly. We friendly.
Yes.
So you can try communications intercept to try and clear off this interference. There's a lot of it.
Okay. I'm gonna do that. I'm rolling a die.
Okay. Are you going to be spending any points first? So remember, points have to be spent first before the roll.
Points spent first. Let's do. That's a lot of interference and very high stakes. Let's do 2 points.
Okay.
5 plus 2 is 7.
Okay. You are able to break through the interference.
Everybody on the planet was just using their blow dryers at the same time.
I repeat, this is the cliffhanger. We are experiencing technical difficulties and are not hostile.
You see the you see the a person now on your screen. Just trying to figure out what I'm seeing the name. It's helpfully not telling me what species they are. So I'm going to say that they are a Tavok. A Tavok female.
Okay.
And she says that, my name is Brona Reddick, the chief operating officer of this ship. I demand to know why you just buzzed our ship.
That was the scare, wasn't
Is this something all of us can see?
Yes,
Flash
you
here?
would be able
Okay.
to see them.
What's the Star Trek bridge situation? Are each of us in different posts? Or are we all?
You would be
same-
in different posts, but all on the bridge.
Yeah, but we don't see each other. It's not like I'm in a separate gun battery somewhere.
Correct.
I'm going to introduce myself. Alistair Kincaid, Stratco for the Cliffhanger. We had our systems disrupted and may have been sending off mixed messages. I want to know, did you experience anything similar?
I don't know what you're speaking about.
So,
Okay, then.
So while this is happening, can I be doing a what's it? Shoot. Energy sigs scan to see what all this interference is. Like, where is it coming from? Like,
Sure.
I don't think I'd be too involved in, like, logically too involved in the talking back and forth between these ships yet, because, like, who, how, why?
Who would harm the baby?
Sure.
with
So,
this?
what skill are you going to be using for that?
I guess energy signatures.
Okay.
Doing a scan. I don't really know what I'm using, but that's
Sure.
what I'm going to try and use for it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna spend 1 point.
You will not need to spend a point for that.
Okay.
But you are starting a scan. I will get back to you when your scan finishes.
All right. Thank you. So, like, over the comms, they can probably hear just this muttering in the background as she's just vehemently, like, tapping on things and just angrily typing, like, what? How? How dare?
Sure.
I'm also looking through the battle console to see like what automatic priming functions. Because you said that the ship doesn't have any automated attack formations of any kind.
Yeah. What happened shouldn't have been able to happen. Your ship is missing the needed programming to do that.
Wayworn,
It's a hunk of junk.
Yeah.
I would like to reassure the Tevak. I'd like to know her name. I'd like to reassure that we are not hostile and what our intentions are, while finding out what her ship's intentions are,
Okay.
and framing it in the sense that maybe we might be able to help each other out.
Okay, do you want to spend any points?
I will spend. I have 2. I will spend 1 big one.
1 point? Okay. And
Am I rolling?
no, there's no roll for this. There are very few things that there are rolls for in this system. Dice coming out is kind of a special event. And so tell me a little bit about what you say.
I say, please accept any apologies for any miscommunications or misunderstandings. We are on a peaceful mission in search of missing persons. Our equipment malfunctioned and may have initiated hostile readings. We would like to become in peace, and we would like to cooperate with you in any endeavors that may aid each other mutually.
Okay. She kind of nods at this and says, "My name is Brona Reddick. You said something about missing persons? Who would go missing that someone would send a ship for?"
I'm unable to divulge as much information at the moment, as we may or may not have that information ourselves. You understand?
So, Vovid, you see the Tavok version of cocking an eyebrow.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You told me you've said her name twice. Let me make sure to write it down. Say it one more time.
It is going to be Brona, Brona, Reddick, Redik.
What age is she?
She looks to be about the Tavok equivalent of like 30. So still on the younger side, but maybe not surprising that she's the chief operating officer on a ship.
I will address her with a middle of the road honorific, not too low, not too high.
Yeah.
For that age. And we are a legally sanctioned laser crew responding to an errant distress signal. Nothing more.
She nods and she goes, "Okay."
Goods for these people?
I'm sorry, what was that? I didn't quite catch it.
Have you been supplying goods for these people?
We sell survival equipment to a settler encampment, mostly medical supplies. So you said distress signal? Would that be the Ev base?
That's right.
Okay. Well, I'll let you guys take care of that. You know what they say, trouble is bad for business.
Brona, I just want to say it's heartening to see that they're letting persons pilot ships who are fresh out of high school. Carry on, and may we have more pleasant encounters in the future.
Okay, so yeah, is that going to be everything that you guys want to deal with Brona?
No, I would like to, after communications has ceased, I want to talk to my crew and indicate that we should at least keep a peripheral eye on the ship.
Well,
Sure.
It would have been nice. Maybe they would have had contacts in settlements that we could have used to look around, but may not be interested in working with us at this juncture. It sounds like they're pretty disinterested.
I mean, Lazaline, you are the hailer. You're the one who gets to decide when communications end, or if they start
Fair.
up again.
Fair enough. So yeah, I will, before closing communications, I will bring that up.
Okay.
But if you...
She says that her contact is the bartender Tom Kresh, who serves as a broker for the Scavenger Collective. And that's TOMKREESH.
What do we know about the Scavenger Collective?
You have heard that a Scavenger Collective does exist, and it has a contact named Tom Kress, who is apparently a bartender.
Ah,
That is what you know about this Scavenger Collective.
I would assume that there would be many scavenger collectives on this planet. But
Ire. At this point,
one of them can afford large supply ships to.
well, it's not that large. But Ire, your energy signature scan has completed. There is one other ship in orbit. It's a speeder that is registered as the Bisru.
How's that spelled?
BISRU.
Okay. Rude little. Is that where the interference was coming from?
You don't know where the interference came from because it's not a long-term thing. You didn't pick up any interference.
Weird. That was unhelpful. Hey, we got another group in orbit if anyone wants to talk to them. Some kind of speeder.
We get a hook on where they're going.
Do you want to try and hail them?
Sure.
Okay.
So well this time.
Let's hail him.
An automated
worst that could
message
happen?
comes back that says that the ship has been parked in orbit by its crew.
This could be a laser crew trying to get whatever reward is there before we do. We should roll.
To the shuttle bay. No.
Just so I understand right, the message back from the Beastru that is speeding.
It is a
Is-
speeder.
It's a speeder
The
class.
speeder. It's not moving. It's parked.
Correct. It is parked in orbit.
Early bird gets the worm.
Okay.
Taylor,
Suspicious.
Yes.
do we have any reason we might open up communications with a idle vessel?
If we get hacked again, but we do have.
So, here's the thing that I'd like to point out about hacking. It could just be a bit of information that was beamed to your ship. Such a thing would probably be encrypted.
Decryption.
What was that, Akko?
Decryption is a skill that exists.
Decryption
that
is
one
a skill
could-
that exists.
And I have
I,
2 points in it.
Yeah, can we find out what one would find out from decryption?
Who would like to use decryption, and would you like to spend any points?
I have 3 points, so if
I'm gonna let you do that then.
so, I'll do just one.
Okay,
Let's
a 1
see.
point spend? Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so the auto attack subroutines were uploaded to the ship's computer in a high-speed burst transmission from the planet's surface.
Okay.
Ooh.
Due to the irradiated anomaly-ridden condition of Aries-3's atmosphere, the precise origin of the transmission is impossible to pinpoint. However,
Interference, got it.
you can narrow it down to the general vicinity of Calopolis.
Okay.
It may be possible to set up a simulation which will eventually return a more precise point of origin for the transmission. However, it will take hours or possibly days to return a result.
I'd rather get boots on the ground. That's where we have to go anyway, so...
And we
I agree.
start
Would we
a
be-
simulator running while, like, in the background while we go.
You could, sure.
I can't do that, but
Let me see, can I?
The
Given
crew
amount of
can
things I
set
could
up
do, probably.
a simulation.
Yeah,
And
we should do that.
What was that?
Oh, I was going to say, can we set it to ping my internal headset
Yes.
when it's done? Okay.
And would we be able to get a more precise reading closer to the source instead of from up here? For instance, if we were to,
Possibly.
I say we get on the ground.
Okay, so there is something that I meant to ask earlier but forgot. Who has internal headsets and who has just the normal headset?
Mine's
Normal headset.
Normal headset.
yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like Lazalina is the only internal headset. Okay. So, the shuttle ride down to the planet is a bumpy one. The pilot must navigate between turbulent air patches.
Okay. How should I go about doing that? Just spend some points?
So, what you're actually going to have to do partway down is you hit an unexpected shelf of hyper-ionized air. You are going to need to make a shuttlecraft test.
All right. All right. I'm gonna spend.
Did we just hit a cow in the middle of space?
Yes.
Ion
Space
cow. Okay. I'm spending 2 points.
Okay,
I rolled a 3.
Okay.
Total 5.
excellent. You are able to keep the ship on an even keel.
Okay.
Okay, so you cruise through the charred canyons that were once the skyscrapers of Calopolis and are now horribly twisted spires of half-melted hyperalloy.
That sounds yucky.
Wherever a smooth section of roadway or sidewalk appears amid the heaving rubble, you see the greasy smears left by vaporized corpses.
Delicious.
That could just be art.
No, bioscans revealed that it is organic matter.
It's bad art.
Yucky.
A layer of billowing ash covers everything.
So, suits up.
Yep.
Yeah, respirators.
Respirators.
Does anyone have forensic anthropology?
I do.
Wait, I actually probably do.
It sounds like Benji has it. So Vovid,
Oh, we don't actually know.
what you see through the so like as you're going down, both the ship's scanners, which are kind of focused around your ship, and the shuttle scanners itself, let you know that much of this ash is organic matter, the remains of billions of people and other creatures that were killed during the bombardment of this planet.
Ooh.
Um,
Yeah, don't breathe in too deeply. It's people.
I mean, at least it's not green.
I don't know if that would be better or worse.
Ash-3.
So,
Are there people living among the people?
according to the bioscans that you did from orbit, yes.
Gross.
Thousands of them.
That.
There are hundreds in the area of
The
Calopolis.
sooner we're off this planet, the better.
I don't know if imaging would be good for this. Or did we see any like broadcast towers as we got down to like the city skyline level? Or was it all too cloudy to see?
It's hard to tell. There's a lot of things that you would normally consider possibly a broadcast tower, but as you get close to it, you realize it's just the way
Spire
that
of
it
twisted waste.
basically.
Is imaging appropriate for that?
No, imaging is not going to get you anything at this moment. But as you guys get closer and closer to the ground and you look back up into space, the atmosphere is a grimy, polluted light show of competing radiations and self-devouring subspace rifts. It looks like a constant aurora borealis stained with dirt and vomit.
Trippy.
It's a very evocative description, and I want to be
Yeah.
not on this planet as quickly as possible. Okay.
Time to get mapping.
So
Okay.
you do actually have a map from your mission briefing. Using it, you are able to locate the EV base, and you also find that several miles to the south of the base lies a makeshift settlement cobbled together partly from salvaged construction materials and partly from prefab imported parts.
Okay. So there's a good bet they're supplied by that hauler.
Or
Most
someone.
likely.
Maybe not directly, but you know.